What would you say if I told you I had an idea that would decrease flood risk, it would increase biodiversity, purify water, increase the value of property, and even improve health and well-being? You might say that it sounds a bit too good to be true, but it is actually an idea, and it's called natural flood management. We also call it NFM, and NFM involves holding water back within the landscape with green spaces, wetlands, vegetation, farming techniques to create this integrated system in multiple places so it works together to hold this rainwater back and not cause flooding. So the Ribble Rivers Trust heard about natural flood management and thought they wanted to implement it. They look after a catchment that goes from the North York Moors down to the Lancaster coast. And they asked me to get involved. But I don't want you to think that I came up with natural flood management. Natural flood management has been in policy documents for well over a decade, and you can find it in the scientific literature for many decades before this. There are global examples, but just small pockets, and it's not ever found at this catchment scale, despite all of these obvious benefits of using it. Natural flood management also involves planning and building regulations. You have flood and coastal engineers, conservation specialists, water quality planners, water resources planners, farming interests. All of these people work within their own systems. They have their own objectives, and they have their own ways of defining success. Now, pluralist systems thinking aims to analyse such complexity such as this. So you can look at the parts and the whole simultaneously, and you avoid one voice dominating. My PhD is using this approach. What I'm looking at is what are the barriers to natural flood management? And I'm going to go further than this, and I'm going to look at ways of overcoming these barriers. So I talked to 50 national experts. They have a collective experience of 645 years. And I asked them, what are the barriers to natural flood management? They told me their answers, and I compiled them into a list. And I went to all the different practitioners and said, you organise this barrier list into a system that makes sense to you and rank them in their importance. From their answers, I was then able to make a graph or a diagram of the system and the way in which it works and highlight the important barriers. From this work, I am now going to test that findings with the Ribble Rivers Trust with real-world examples. And we want to then go further and propose ways in which to change the system to take natural flood management from an idea into action.